I, like probably many of you, raise your hand if you weren't born in America. You're born somewhere else. So I learned English watching TV. That's how I learned English, watching Power Rangers and all this other stuff when I was a kid. I'm sure they taught me something in class, but I don't think that helped me too much. So, so I decided to write kind of an ode to television and to respect the TV. And so this, I wrote this poem while watching the TV Guide channel. So keep your ears open for a TV show that you may love. I was leaving the office when I met her, somewhere between Sesame Street and 106 and Park, and from the start, I gotta be real, homegirl was a fox. I walked up to her and said, "Excuse me, miss. Now, I love New York too, but you shouldn't roam these streets alone." "No," she interrupted. "I don't mind if you walk me home." So we talked as we walked, chalked our words up to the backdrop of the stars. Our conversation seemed to flow to a beat. Told me that she loved to travel, that her favorite group was TLC, my type of girl. She was witty and smart. She cracked jokes and asked me if I was afraid of the dark. I told her that I dug her humor. And listen, to me, comedy central. So we got to her door and she said, "Thanks for the walk, you came at the nick of time. I'm a poet from the Shy and I'm new to NY." "Well, so am I said, feeling like I was a few inches off the ground. "And as a matter of fact, I'm the king of Queens. You mind if at some point I show you around?" She frowned. "Only if you take me to an open mic." All right. I took her out on a Saturday night. Live band was playing right by South Park. Oh yeah, I handled it right, and she handled the mic, spitting lines that made me want to relearn my ABCs. Mommy was wilding out, so I went ahead and charmed her. Took her outside where the tunes of the band could calm her, and that night, I danced with a star. Now, knowing she was a poet, the discovery must have channeled some sort of ESP, and we were finishing each other's sentences. I told her, I don't mean to be prideful, but I'm making moves while the rest of America's idle. She cut me off with a smile and kissed me. I paused, you see, because her lips left me hanging like an apostrophe. It was odd for me, and honestly, I can't sing, but that night she had me sounding like a soprano. Forget any game I possess, she had my motor revving. Cloud 9? This girl was on 7th heaven. Had me reading rainbows on the way to her place, where she made me this 30-minute meal. Man, bump Rachel Ray. Because this chick was a top chef, had me saying bravo. Now I know, and somehow so did she. So she shot me a warning, told me that my heart was in jeopardy. She said, "It's too soon to adore me." And I would have ignored him, because I was sure he was swinging my wheel of fortune. But after a month, it took the turn I yearned to avoid. She was employed at a hospital. We met up to talk. She said our relationship was becoming a gray anatomy. She looked good in them scrubs. Then she told me, "I'm sorry, but nice guys finish last in this amazing race. We should slow the pace and be friends." Friends? I offered you stars and satellite. As far as I was concerned, we had it made. I was already eyeing cribs for our baby girl. She said, "This isn't Disney. This is the real world." And she was right. I'm the fool who fell in love in one night. Then she said I was trying to control her. Control her? Well, now she going to pull out the spikes. With that line, she roused my pride and I brought the fight. I said, let's get one thing right. I may have had my head in the sky, but I'm a smart guy, sister. I supported that distorted cousin of yours and listened to your fussing. At dinner, you go on for 60 minutes complaining about your family feuds, and yet I never viewed you different. For instance, the fact that your childhood home lacked improvement didn't derail this movement. And bunk skeletons in the closet. You had some tales from the crypt, and still I never questioned your promises. Oh, I was in. TNT doesn't know this drama. I brought her the trauma to this ER. I just wanted to shake her. You're gonna agarrar por el cuello, yo me que la quiero. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Someone in the audience must have changed the channel to Telemundo. Yeah, TBS may think it's funny, but I was pissed. I was mad. TV broken, hoping this wasn't true, because never in my lifetime had a girl made me enjoy The View. That's not a metaphor. Whoopi Goldberg's on there now. It's actually a pretty good show. You know, they say forgetting you is easy, that even a caveman can do it, but my DVR, my TiVo, is full of our memories, and I'm not ready to press record. I found a picture of us recently in the which I put up the antennas. Man, sometimes I just want to get away into our past, into what we were, because I'm lost without her. It doesn't matter how that conversation in the hospital ended. You should have seen her face. That was the last time I saw her, because just like that, she was gone, out of my life, without a trace. This is my last piece. I was in a poetry slam. That's a poetry competition, if you don't know what that is. And in Texas, and it was a topical slam. The topic was to write a poem that every man or woman can relate to. So in this poem, you will all relate to one part of it at some point, then you'll also not at other points. So that's okay. So it's written for everyone, and you can enjoy the parts that really do apply or you find funny or cool for you. So I wrote it about what this poem is for. So it's called This. This is for the fat girls. This is for the comic book junkies, for a world forgotten and for the rotten who have no advocate. This is for the overly masculine tears that are held back by what society fears. This is for Black Michael. It's for cycles of depression, question for the broke poet. This is for every lunch lady who ever slid you some mac and cheese on the side. For the romantics who still try. This is for fireworks on the 3rd of July because the hood does it like that. This is for everyone who has a cousin that raps, a sister that sings, an uncle who slings, and an aunt on crack. This is for the constipated and the many plungers who have met their match. This is for no reason, for poems with no point. It's for every banana boat that is still afloat. This is for the domino players who slam the feet chops way too hard. For the people who think of pizza when they hear the word dominoes, and for those of us who know better. This is for Latin people who know better. This is for all the people in Hispanic organizations who aren't Hispanic. This is for every girl R. Kelly ever peed on. It's for freedom, opposite of any politics we lean on. This is for 50 cents, because now I know how much it costs to sell out. It's for drunk white people who think they can freestyle. This is whatever you want it to be. It's for Adam, for allowing himself to be pimped by Eve, and for all the greens we didn't want to eat as kids. This is for anyone still wondering where in the world is Carmen Sandiego. She's in San Diego. This is for Legos because it made the last line rhyme. This is for every time a girl with ugly feet has ever worn sandals. You should know better. This is for all the girls who are looking at their feet right now. This is what happens when unfinished poems join together. It's for everyone who forgot to put their phone on silent. Don't do it now. Wait till this is done. This is for a revolution that will never come. It's for traditional pencils that have been replaced by mechanical ones. For the nuns who still want sex. This is for every step we take for granted while paralytics envy us. This is for every heart I've ever broken. For the hopeless. For parents who still believe in discipline. This is for every pair of socks the laundromat has ever stolen. It's for every poem just like this. For the ones that have been aborted by their author, never to be recited. This is for everyone who is tired of me saying this is. This is for the scavengers who look through the lost and found, hoping to find what you lost. This is for the crowd, for all the young verbs in college, hoping to reach the pronouns. This is for everyone who will not be mentioned. For my mom, a woman who demanded that I be a man. This is for the damned, for all that is not. It's for every kid who only knew their pops because it was their morning cereal. This is for the men and women on YouTube who entertain the rest of us. This is for the best of us, for every unborn baby that wasn't allowed to shine, for doors of opportunity that are locked from the inside. This is for lost time trying to keep order, for the freeloader, myself included. This is for everything you've ever promised, for every time you cross your fingers and hope to die, for the abolished, for 8 years in college spent getting a 4-year diploma. This is for the race card. For every Asian that doesn't know Kung Fu and isn't good with technology. For every African American who can't play ball. For every Afghani who doesn't share a terrorist view at all. This is for every Spanish person that doesn't speak Spanish. For every Mexican that didn't jump the border. And for every white person who can dance. This is for a last chance to men. For movements that actually move men. For the fire that consumes them. This is for all that I have not mentioned. For pensions. This is for the trailer park and the Redeemer. For trailer parks and the projects. This poem still dreams for you dreamers. Thank you.
Wow. It was like Def Comedy Jam up in this. Go, go, go.
Oh my gosh, Raymond, calm down. We're still hosting.
Hey, calm down. You know everybody loves Raymond.
I guess, whatever.
Well, on a serious note, I'd like to give a nice thank you to Nelson Ramirez for coming tonight.
So how's everyone in the audience?
Are you guys ready for what you've been waiting for so long?
Hasn't been that long now.
Are you ready?
Next up, we're bringing, who is it?
Everybody knows who's coming up right now. The man. the main man, all the way from New York City.
Oh yes, sorry, I had a lapse in memory.
Oh, you better stop laughing. Anyway, coming to the stage is my man, Mark Viera. Mark Viera is coming all the way from Bronx, New York. Roots, and he goes on, you know, he gives a couple jokes and performances all over New York and in different colleges and universities, like the University of Florida. His work sparks off of his everyday life and random situations. Now, give a warm Gator Nation welcome for Mark Viera!